It's a great Friday, and it's a good Friday to learn some driving lessons. And yes, on the previous video, I did put my grandson in the driver's seat. And though somebody said I'm crazy, I'll be that. And you see, that's something else I taught my grandson and my grandchildren. That, well, all people who say that they are adults, that's okay. They never became adepts. They still call other people names. And they don't know that names can hurt other people. So what have they learned in their adulthood? So that's another lesson, because the one that said that, well, you're crazy, I hope she meant it in a good way. At least I hope so. I want to think she did. And that's what she meant, is that, yeah, I'm crazy fun. And that I put my grandson behind the wheel because regardless, he's in the driver's seat of his life. And he has to become more aware of those that are around him that may be, well, not in his class. Because he could have a class A or a class B, or maybe even a class C. It depends on how many road tests that he's passed and what is he aiming for? What is his soul purpose? What is his soul purpose? And that he is so low here in the driver's seat. You see, when you come to this dimension, you are so low, and you have the purpose to get so high. Yes, you need to speed up. That's what your soul wants, to speed up. So much that your movements cannot be seen. You're making moves, going around the curve, because you took the back roads, because you know on the streets is a lot of traffic, and that they are speed traps because so many travel that way. So those that are policing you know to be on those roads. So I teach my grandson that if you want to accelerate, then you need to know who's in front of you. Because if you go too fast, you're going to hit someone, because you're not on this road alone. And you also need to know how and when to brake. And that's in more ways than one, because see, these young people today, they know how to, according to what we say in the islands too, you know how to brake. They're out there already knowing about sex, and you can't have your child behind a driver's seat at 11 when everything is built on the 4, and in a block of time he's going to be 16. So that's the same thing. In 4 years, well, he should be on another level. So why not be teaching him at a level right now that says to him that, hey, look here, you have no boundaries, you are limitless, only you hold yourself back. You are in the driver's seat. You are not the body. You are not even the mind. You are the soul, and your soul is the driver of this car and this car that you're sitting in. And your body is the vehicle that is helping you to drive this car, giving you that feeling. So I let him also know that you don't have to say, well, oh, adults drive cars. Well, when you go to the arcade and your feet can touch the pedal, you can get behind that and you can drive the car, and you can crash the car if you don't know what you're doing. You can absolutely use an ink pen, and it is dangerous. You can use anything that you believe to be outside of you and cause yourself harm, because you are in the driver's seat. And if you are not aware of what that tool does, you can get hurt. And that is with anything that you believe is on the outside of you. It can hurt you. Because you have to know what is on the inside of you. And you have to know that, well, you've got confidence. And that you're in the all and the all is in you. Because that same ink pen, well, you could sign your life away. How many have done that? How many have used a pen and it was dangerous? It was a weapon. So anything can be a weapon. That car is a weapon, yes. And so many cultures even teach their children how to use guns at a young age. That gun is a weapon. But what is most deadly in this lifetime is the so-called apple. People, that's what, right. So it is the one that has no wisdom that is the danger. We don't have to fear those things that we create. We have to fear the things that are created with no knowledge of how to use them wisely. Because then they turn against you. A simple ink pen turned against you. You signed your name where you may have not needed to sign your name. So there are many things that we must teach our children that are dangerous on the outside of us that we perceive to be danger. I don't want him to perceive that the car is dangerous. No, you're dangerous because you drive the car. You are a danger to yourself. That is what I teach him. Because you would choose to learn what you're told and stay in your lane only and don't go out into another lane because you're told that you can't go in that lane, and you were told that you have to go slow, and they put speed bumps there to make you get trapped, or they have signs on the road that say you can go fast now, you can go slow now, it's 25 miles per hour, then it's 45, and then it drops right back down so that you get caught and you have to know how to take the back road sometimes. And so many men are not in the driver's seat because they did not learn that they needed to go from boyhood to manhood to kingship. And so many women are single today because those boys didn't get in the driver's seat at a young enough age to build confidence and know that you drive your life and your soul is the driver and your heart is the generator. See? So now, if I'm crazy, I'll be crazy. I'll be crazy. But I'm going to teach my grandson and all my children, grandchildren, and, any child that comes past my way, that you're in the driver's seat here. And they need to get in a car and realize that go slow in the parking lot until you are confident that you're not going to crash. That you are in control of this car. You are in control of it. So I teach synonymous lessons. It's all synchronistic because that is how a child must learn, because they are highly intelligent. They are a highly efficient vehicle. And they are a new vehicle. They are a new car. See? They are newly incarnated being. They are not a hoopty. And so my grandson said to me, he says, oh, my grandson, he says, oh, he's so cute. He says, what's a hoopty? And I wanted to tell him, well, something that I used to say. Well, I used to say, well, to some people, well, now I'm a hoopty. I just don't have many miles on me, and I haven't let a lot of people ride in me. But I didn't tell him that. I use that line, and it's a true line. Oh, I'm an old hoopty, but I don't have many miles. And ain't nobody been doing no joy rides either. But in any way, that's not for my grandson's ears. I basically just let him know that a hoopty is an older vehicle that is still able to be on the road because it's been maintained. But it just doesn't have all the new components like the newer vehicle. That's all. That's what I tell him. So, he's a new vehicle and he's an upgraded model to his father. So he can go faster and he's more intelligent. But he has to know that now, or he's going to believe himself to only be able to go 100 miles per hour, that he can't go the full 160 or even faster, like a race car. See, that's why they call it races. Because he can race against himself, not against anyone else. And that when people say words to him like, oh, they said to me, you check your mental state, or you crazy, I tell him this: sticks and stones may break my bones. Ooh, there we go, yep. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never harm me. And you see, the ancestors came chiming right through again, because I told him that. But you see, that's because I learned that from a great mentor myself. But what she told me, though, was that I'm an African. So when people were teasing me and calling me names, that my nose was big and called me Big Nose. Here comes Big Nose. I had big pride now, because I know that my nose is a sign of African pride. And with my grandson, I just learned something along the way that I experienced, that you see that saying is incorrect. Sticks and stones may break your bones, and words may never harm me. But words do harm you, and I let him know that saying is incorrect, that saying actually is very incorrect, because words are swords and they hurt you, and they mostly hurt you when you believe them, and when you talk to yourself and you don't talk to yourself in the words that are inspiring to yourself. You get stabbed right in your own heart, and that is your generator. So then you can't go very far, because your heart is the generator for your soul. Your soul already knows the way, but your heart generates. So if you say things to yourself like, I can't, or I'm stupid, or I'm crazy, then you go nowhere. You slow yourself down. So put your children in the driver's seat and be by their side. You see, they have to know that we're all here together. We're all in the all, and the all is in us. And so there's no one really alone. And when I'm in that car with my grandson and I'm teaching him how to be in the driver's seat so that he could be a king and get confidence from a young age, and see that, oh, it's not just adults that drive your life. You drive your life now as well. And I'm right here by your side, baby. And then you have a man who loves his mother because she gave him the right values. It's just like, oh, that comes to mind. Jay Rich, she's driving as a truck driver in a multi-billion-dollar business. I'm projecting it on her and her son, because he's watching her in the driver's seat, and he's so anxious and he's so cute, and he's like, oh, my mommy's a driver. See? And he sees she has drive. And now when his legs are long enough to get in the driver's seat and be a driver of his own life, whatever he chooses, he knows that he's in the driver's seat because he's a boss like his mother. And now a young boy can see his feminine nature in a woman too, because most time boys only see their self in their fathers. They're masculine, and we need balance. So that's what I'm saying. I'm teaching balance here, and I'm teaching multiple lessons at one time. I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty that they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier.